Hi guys, I'm sometimes asked about the topic of strength and swordsmanship, and what my views are on how strong you need to be an effective swordsman. Well, first things first, I'll say I'm not the strongest person in the world and I'm not the best swordsman in the world. So maybe I'm not the best qualified person to answer the question. But here goes, I'll have a go to say something about it anyway. My view over the last 15, 16, 17 years of involvement with swordsmanship is that strength is a good quality to have in swordsmanship. It can be an advantage, just like height or speed or frankly intelligence, or other qualities, other things that might be good things to have. However, over my years of involvement with swordsmanship and martial arts, other martial arts before, my general view, I think, is that whilst being generally fit and generally strong and these kind of things is very good, and certainly it's never going to make you a worse swordsman, I haven't really seen great physical strength give a great advantage in swordsmanship. I think generally speaking weapons are an equaliser, and at the extreme of that we can, take the old 19th century proverb of Colonel Colt made all men equal, and clearly if two guys have got a revolver, really who wins the gunfight comes down to who's the quickest draw, or who's the best shot, or who's got the best revolver actually, because a lot of 19th century revolvers misfired and jammed and other kinds of problems. But in terms of swordsmanship, I think really what you want is a functional kind of strength and fitness and speed, but huge physical strength isn't necessarily a real advantage, or at least I've never really seen any evidence of it. Now it's possible that in armoured fighting or certain types of weapon fighting, being really strong would enable you to use a bigger, heavier weapon, move it a bit quicker, or move more easily in your armour and so on. That's possibly true, although generally speaking armour is not as heavy as most people think it is. It's about the same weight as a modern infantry soldier's backpack, except the difference is with armour is it's spread all over your body and fits you very well and is tightly bound to your body. So actually you can move quite quickly and easily in armour. In my experience of doing things in my armour, it ties you down quicker, so it's more of a stamina issue rather than a strength issue. But going back to unarmoured swordsmanship, essentially I haven't seen any evidence that great physical strength advantages you a lot in swordsmanship, but strength enough to operate your weapon quickly is very useful. And I would say, I think if we're measuring up the different qualities that make a good swordsman, the ones I mentioned before, strength, speed, intelligence, obviously skill, I think above all of those, skill, i.e. practice with your weapon, kind of outstrips all of the others. And I know people who are quite unfit who are good swordsmen. I know people who are quite old who are good swordsmen. I know people who are carrying quite annoying injuries like bad knees and bad elbows and bad shoulders, or bad eyesight in fact, who are good swordsmen. So really skill and experience seems to outstrip the physical qualities, and it's one of the reasons actually that I've always thought HEMA is a really great activity, and in fact other types of martial art have the same thing as well, whereby with enough skill and experience you can still at a right old age you can still beat the young guys who are probably faster, stronger and got more stamina than you, but you can still throw them around and still beat them because you've got superior skill and experience and technique. So there we go, that's my basic view on strength. I think it's good to build up your strength. It can't harm, it can't hurt anything, possibly except in the extreme where you bulk up so much that it could make you slower potentially. But I think the most important thing is to have enough strength to operate your weapon of choice, or your weapons, or your unarmed fighting style to the maximum technical ability that you can take it to. Cheers.